Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? AnsleyD back at you with another video. And in this video, I want to talk about like you work in your job and stuff like that, and you have a job, and you're doing your work. And a lot of us, most of us, our jobs is dealing with a lot of people, whether like customer service, whether you're in the service industry, retail industry, providing some kind of service or something like that. It tends to be a lot of times where you have to interact with a lot of people. All right. So where you're interacting with a lot of people, and it could be different dynamics, different personalities, different characteristics. So it is part of the job, and you have to learn how to navigate and be willing to adapt with it and adjust to different, like I said, like different people, different backgrounds, different personality, different characteristics, traits. So that's one thing about working a job, working a full-time job, and that you have to interact with people, because my job I probably work with over 100 people, and interacting with over 100 people, and not to mention like people that's like the customers, as well as the people who are my coworkers. So it's definitely a big learning lesson, and sometimes it's a drawback. Sometimes it can draw on your energy, especially if you have to deal with, I don't want to say people attitude, but just their emotions or what they're going through. It tends to be a lot of people are going through a lot of things, especially in today's time, especially in the winter time. If you're at a certain age, people are, we're losing people because we're getting up there in a certain age. So people are losing people that they love. So that also tends to be a problem, because you're not exactly sure what people are going through, and you're not exactly sure what people are going through. So you have to navigate the different circumstances and adjust to them, because maybe somebody's just having a difficult day and something happened, and the way you're interacting with them is not really pleasing to them. So they might end up emotionally not proper for the interaction, and they might end up, reacting to you a certain way. They might come off with you with a strong emotion or attitude or something that's not pleasing. And you just got to be able to adjust into it and say, react to it in a different way. Don't react to it all defensively. React to it with a point where you say, okay, I see that you're having a difficult time, or I see that maybe something is bothering you. So maybe the way I was interacting or communicating with you, maybe that come off differently, where it rubs your emotions, and your emotions may sway. Never know which way the emotion might sway. It might sway to a bad way or something like that. For example, this morning, you have your setbacks, you have your well, that's with every day. Every day you're going to have some kind of adversity, some kind of setback, situation or problem that will come up that you have to deal with it. So we have to work on that and work on adjusting, in addition to accountability sometimes when you mess up. So for example, this morning, you have your adversity. I'm at work. I go to work early. I start work early before the sun even ready to peak. And you have your adversity, your setbacks. So certain ways energies are, your emotions might not be in a certain way. And it's crazy because your emotions is not always the same way. So sometimes something may happen that rub your emotions. So you may be at work, you might feel a certain type of way. You don't even really want to interact with people like that. But the job that you're doing, or the title that you may have, may require you to be more interactive, where you have to be cordial and discuss situations and topics with people. So that sometimes can be a drawback or a downfall. So like I was saying, for example, this morning, I was having some setbacks, and trying to figure out some things, and certain stuff was running me the right way. So my energy wasn't as positive as I wanted to be, and that happens. I'm human, so sometimes your energy go up and down. I try to be as positive as possible, but this reality of life and the logistics of life, and not to mention how life is playing out, sometimes may put you in a different mood than you're usually in. I try to be as much positive mood as possible, but sometimes, like I said, you have that drawback, and that drawback could lead to interaction that people are not fond of. So, example, this morning, I had to come off a certain way to some type of people, didn't mean to do it on purpose, but some people feel away. So it started to rub my energy, especially in my position. Like, certain things have to get done, and requirements are required from my coworkers, and communication sometimes may be lost or may be miscommunicated, or just a drawback on communication. So we got to pay attention to that and make sure that it does not impede on our job or impede on our progress or impede on our skills and what we can do throughout the day to make it a successful day. So like I said, so some things had drawback on my energy, some changes, had to adjust to some changes that was made, just a wide variety of things and adversity that faced the day. So, my energy was up and down, so it mostly was kind of down, just trying to, break through the morning, get things done. And it's funny because I guess this lady, she know I'm usually try to be on an up and up, positive realm of things, And she came and she was like, good morning, good morning. I said, good morning. And she said, I said good morning. I was like, I said good morning back, She's like, but where's the smile? And I was like, huh? And that just made me smile because I guess usually when I say good morning, I'm saying good morning with a smile. So she probably got drawn back because she's saying good morning, stuff like that. I'm just like, probably the good morning was dry, like, oh, good morning, good morning. She's like, huh? Like, where's the smile? What she said, I said good morning. I'm like, okay, I said good morning back. What's the problem? So she basically would say, well, I guess usually say good morning with a smile, even though it's early in the morning, it's cold outside, you really don't want to be here. I don't mind being here, but some of them cold mornings, you gotta drag yourself out of bed. Like, somebody left a comment on one of the videos, and they exactly knew what I was related to. I forgot who left the comment, but when I find it out who left that comment, I'm gonna shout you out on another video. But I think it was a female. She was like, yeah. Sometimes I just gotta drag myself out of bed, especially when it's cold. And this morning, that's was one of those feelings. I had to literally drag myself out the bed, get things moving. But with that said, though, you can't have stuff like that be a drawback on your day. So with her even saying that, you're usually smiling and stuff like that, I kind of yeah, she's kind of right. I can't make things dampen my whole day because certain things are not going my way. I just gotta be able to be aware of it, being able to take accountability if it's in my place where I can change it, where I can take accountability and I can make a difference of the situation, then that'd be a good thing. Other than that, I just gotta let it go, what they say, let go and let God take control of it and just go with the flow. So with that this morning, like I was saying, so dealing with different people, different varieties, just different personalities, how people react to certain things, and just being in the work industry is a challenge itself. Being in the work industry, having a job is a challenge, and a lot of us is trying to reach that American dream or that financial freedom platform where we can say, okay, well, and so like I was saying, so that's some of the things that we're dealing with in life. We're working with a wide variety of people, different personalities, come from different backgrounds, so we got to learn to communicate. And that's just the world in itself, operating on a day-to-day basis. That's just the world, how we have to operate. We have to be able to adjust, learn from each other, learn from our mistakes, and be able to communicate and get along with one another. So situations like and problems may occur, and it could be problems at home, it could be personal issues, it could be even problems at the workplace, at the job, where you have people interacting with one another. And like I said, emotions may come into play, and certain people are not very intelligent about the emotions or have emotional intelligence. Not that it's a bad thing, but you have to also learn about your emotions and be able to control your emotions or redirect your emotions to a different realm of energy. Like, don't try to be all negative. If somebody's coming off on you a certain way, don't be on the defensive all the time. That's something I had to learn. Don't be on the defensive all the time. And if it is part of your situation where you're part of the problem, then maybe you should take accountability for you being part of the problem, and that will help to work things out even better. So like I said, people have their personal issues, work issues, and that comes into play when you're at work. You have your personal matters, you're trying to come into the job, do what you have to do, but at the same time, you're back in the mind, especially if you have downtime or something, that thought of the situation, the idea, anything like that can come into your mind, and you can start plotting and dwelling on that situation. And some of us tend to worry about the situation or worry about what's going on instead of trying to find a problem to the situation, or try to find, not a problem to the situation, try to find a solution to the problem to make the situation better. So at a workplace, like dealing with hundreds of people or dealing with a good amount of people, a variety amount of people, you got to be able to get along and learn different personality traits of other people, learn what push people's buttons, or what can make people more relaxed or more at ease. So in the job force also, not everybody's friends. That's the thing that you learn. Not everybody are friends. And even if you think people are your friends, sometimes they're not even your friends, because they can be cool one day and then later things down the line. And it wouldn't even be something that you did, but it could be something that somebody else did, or something that another person told another person. That happens. A lot of things with rumors. Excuse me. That comes into play a lot with, like, when you're working with numbers. You have numbers of people, good amount of numbers. You always have like the rumor mill, what's going on in the rumor. Say somebody spread a rumor and you and a person was cool, but a rumor got spread, and then next thing you and that person is not cool. So then you got to worry about people's getting along together. Make sure people are cordial, because in the workplace, even though you're working together, not all co-workers are friends. Not everybody get along. You got to be able to dissect which ones get along and be able to mediate what's going on and create that filter between miscommunication. A lot of things going on when you're working in a workplace that's a good amount of people. I'm not just talking about like an office setting where it's like 3 to 5 people or even 10 at the most. I'm talking about a good amount of settings where it's 30, 40, 50, 100, 120, 150 people that you're working with, co-workers, and 150 personalities, 150 characteristic traits. But you got to learn how to adapt to it, adjust to it. Miscommunication, be aware of miscommunication, because sometimes that can come into a hand and plays with a lot of problems with miscommunication. And sometimes you just got to be able to understand others, or be able to sympathize and empathize with one another. Having sympathy and empathy with other people can also help that boundary be tighter. Then for me, like, I work early morning, so you got some people who are morning people, some people are not. So interacting with a person who's a morning person is way different than a person that's not a morning person. The person that's a morning person, their energy is up, they're excited, they're ready to go. Person that's not a morning person, their energy is like, mediocre. It's just like, let's just get a day done with. Sometimes they probably just slouching over somewhere, trying to get by have the hours get by without even doing anything. So it's a wide variety of things that goes through and has to come into play and come into thought and come into awareness when dealing with a lot of people in the work industry, at your workplace. If you got like over 25, 50, 100, 150 people at your workplace, it's definitely a challenge. Talk to y'all later.